Visual Kei makeup is criminally underrated because while stylists like Gyaru and Jirai Kei keep blowing up online, I still feel like not enough people are talking about VK. And while I'm terrified to actually try out this style, I still want to see if I can pull it off or if I'll just end up embarrassing myself in front of the entire VK community. For my base makeup, I'm starting off by mixing these two products here. The first is the Dior Forever Concealer in 0.5 Neutral, and the other is the LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation in white. I'm doing this in order to achieve a lighter base, as many of the Visual Kei makeup looks I've seen typically go for this look, and the look I'm using for my inspiration today utilizes it as well. However, this is purely out of personal choice, as VK makeup doesn't require or mandate a specific skin shade whatsoever. And after blending in my base, we gotta address the eye bags and blemishes with some color corrector. And I'm using this cream pot one here from the same cosmetics. If you suffer from dark circles and acne marks like I do, this product needs to be in your routine. And after applying that on the places I need it, I'm applying some more of my Dior Forever Concealer on top. I swear, all of these more dramatic makeup styles require the most full coverage base. It's crazy. And I like to set my eyes in place immediately after applying concealer, so I'm taking this white setting powder from Revolution Beauty and applying it before my under eyes start creasing. We gotta work quick around here. I'm applying some of that powder on the rest of my face, repeat the concealer and powdering on the other side, and then be completely stupid like me and put in your color contacts after you do your base makeup. Please do not do this at home. I simply just forgot to put them in first. And here comes the struggle of actually putting them in. This step always takes a minute, but once you get them in, you see that transformation. I'm wearing the Geo Princess Mimi Sesame Gray lenses from Pinky Paradise. All products will be linked down below. But now we are moving on to the nose contour step, which also doesn't seem to have too distinct of a style for Visual Kei makeup. So I'm just taking my contour palette from Kaleidos in shade Light and making a button nose contour, just like my typical nose contour that I usually do. And then I also take some of the powder and drag it up about halfway up my nose bridge, and then also on the sides of my nose tip. If your nose ends up looking a little muddy like mine does here, take some of your setting powder and clean up along the sides of your contour lines. You can also put some on your nose tip to brighten it up a bit. Moving on to contouring the rest of the face, we're keeping this pretty simple as well, and I'm just dipping into the grayest shade of my contour palette and contouring along the sides of my chin. I'm doing this in order to make my lower face look more V-shaped, which is a look many Japanese makeup styles often go for. Don't forget to drag some of the product down your neck, and to make the chin area look a little less harsh, I'm contouring a little just on the lower portion of my jawline, which, if you have a square or more round face shape like me, is the best contour method for your face shape. Trust me. Headband is off and it is time for eyebrows, which I start with just brushing them straight up so that I can see where my natural arch is. I'm taking this micro brow pencil from NYX Cosmetics and drawing a straight tail at the end of my eyebrow. I noticed many VK makeup wearers keep their eyebrows pretty straight, angular, and thin, so after lightly filling mine in, I'm taking some concealer on a small flat brush and carving along the top and bottom of my eyebrows to make them appear thinner. I like to do this instead of just shaving them off and drawing them on because sometimes I want to have actual eyebrows, you know? Repeat that on the other side. And now we are finally moving on to the fun part, the eyes, which I'm starting by dusting some white eyeshadow all over my eyelid as a base shade. I'm using shade Death Blow from the Jeffree Star Cremated palette. Whew, I know, Jeffree Star, interesting. But hot take, this palette is actually amazing, and I literally use it for like all of my looks, so I low-key recommend it. Now I'm dipping into some of this gray shade here. And the goal is to start creating a sort of smoky eye look, as much of the VK makeup I've seen seem to always go for that effect. I apologize for the straight shot of my nasal cavity this whole time, but now I'm just darkening that smoke effect with a little bit of black eyeshadow. And now we're moving on to the eyeliner. Yippee! I love this part! You might not though, and I'd understand. It takes a lot of patience. But what I'm doing here is drawing on a curve slightly above my natural eyelid crease using the NYX Breakup Proof Liquid Eyeliner. And I'm doing this in order to make my eyelids appear larger by creating that new eyelid crease, a technique that a ton of Japanese makeup styles utilize in order to enlarge the eyes overall. And for the actual eyeliner wing, I'm starting off by drawing downwards at a slight angle, sort of following my natural eye curve. And once I extend that down far enough, I start flicking it up a little bit at the end. From there, I'm taking that line where I flicked up and connecting it back up to my upper lash line, and then filling in the empty parts of that wing. And now that we have that downwards facing wing, we are starting our eye droop, which again, an eye droop is not required for Visual Kei makeup, but I just love the way they look, and my reference utilizes one as well, so I'm doing it for funsies. But if you try this makeup on yourself, feel free to skip this step. I'm now lining the inner portion of my eye, making a little pointy point just to connect all of that. And now I'm slightly extending my eyelid crease eyeliner just to make it a little bit more uniform. And then I take some of that black eyeshadow from the palette that I used earlier and smoke out that bottom eyeliner droop just a little bit, as this makes the new eye shape that we've created appear a little bit more three-dimensional. I apply a little bit in my inner waterline as well. I smoke out my eyeshadow just a teensy bit more over that eyeliner. And now we move on to the Namida Bukuro makeup, which literally translates to tear bag in Japanese. You might know it as Aegyo from TikTok and other social media platforms, but that is just the Korean translation for the same thing. So call it whatever you like, but I'm emphasizing mine by packing on some of this white eyeshadow, and then taking some gray eyeshadow on my small angled brush, and contouring along the underneath portion of that fake eye bag to, again, create a more three-dimensional look to my eye. I'm taking some more gray eyeshadow and smoking out just along the outer portion of that eye fat bag. And from there, I'm drawing on a few spiky bottom lashes. You definitely need a good, thin, precision tip eyeliner to do this. And that's why I recommend this eyeliner to so many people, because it literally does just that. It's perfect. And because we drew on those lower spiky lashes, we now have to make our upper lashes match. And I'm doing this by applying these spiky manga extensions. The ones I'm using are the bunny ear lash extensions from 99 Dreams on TikTok Shop. Highly recommend these if you're looking for some good extensions. And now that we're done with the eyes, I'm wiping that setting powder off of my nose that we put on earlier. And then going back in with some white eyeshadow and highlighting the tip and bridge of my nose. Psych, we're going back to the eyes because I forgot to blend my natural lashes in with the extensions, so I'm just applying a thin layer of mascara over my natural lashes and the extensions. And as a weird added step, I like to take some black eyeshadow on an angled brush and use it to extend my nostrils to make my nose look a little bit more upturned. I don't own a black lip liner for some reason, so I'm using this Chanel black gel eyeliner to line my lips, focusing on creating a more angular shape on the Cupid's bow, as I notice many Visual Kei makeup looks go for this more defined Cupid's bow look. And I also somehow don't even own a black lipstick, so instead I'm using some black eyeshadow and an eyeshadow brush to fill in my lips. This took me so long though, so I recommend just getting a black lipstick. Don't be stupid like me. I feel like so many Visual Kei makeup looks always include that extended lip corner look with the mouth, so I'm using some black eyeshadow on an angled brush to create that same effect, focusing on making the corners appear more upturned but also dragged out. We are finally on the last step, y'all. OMG, can you believe it? And that is simply applying some of these little fake studs that I purchased from Amazon to make it look like I have piercings when I really do not, but it's all about the movie magic. So I feel like I had to add these just to look a little cooler. And here is my completed Visual Kei inspired makeup attempt. Off camera, I decided to style a fit to go along with the makeup look. It's kind of because I don't really own any VK looking clothes, but I tried my best, and at the end of the day, it's all about having fun, right? Girl, shut up. But anyways, I absolutely love the way this turned out on my features because it reminds me so much of a mixture between the Gyaru makeup looks I've tried mixed with a more punk rock vibe. Do you guys see that too? I also feel like my look definitely turned out looking like a more modern day take on this style, and I feel like it definitely has a cuter vibe, I think mostly due to the colored contacts I chose. So if I were to try VK again, I'd definitely go for a more mature and intimidating look. But anyways, if you've made it this far into the video, I want to say thank you so much for following along with me as I tried Visual Kei makeup today. And please let me know down in the comments what makeup style or look you want to see me try next. I love trying out these unique global makeup styles to see how they look on different features. So if you enjoy that too, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll keep on making more videos like this for you guys. See you in the next one. Bye!